What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here. In this one, we're going to be talking about Michigan football defensive line coach Greg Scruggs, as he has resigned from his position, including who has taken over to coach the defensive line position group, and potentially who Sharon Moore could go out and get. Plus, Michigan potentially breaking the record for the most NFL personnel and scouts attending a pro day. We also got some news on new contract updates for some Michigan assistant coaches, as they're being paid very well. Michigan also gets a new director of on-campus recruiting, and Sharon Moore talks about the quarterback battle, this team being satisfied but not satisfied, and a couple of younger defensive players that are standing out in spring practice. It's all going to be in this video and more, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so the first thing I did want to talk about is Michigan defensive line coach Greg Scruggs, as it was announced yesterday that he was going to be resigning from Michigan after being arrested for operating a vehicle while intoxicated. It actually came out that he was over double the legal driving limit, as that was early Saturday morning last weekend when he got arrested. But Sharon Moore announced it yesterday that he was going to be resigning, so now that leaves Sharon Moore having to go out and get a new defensive line coach. Sharon Moore spoke to the media actually yesterday, and speaking on the situation, he said, "We'll move swiftly but carefully and do what we need to do to get that." He said, "But we have a collective unit coaching defensive line right now, and super happy with these past couple of days. The whole defensive staff will be all hands on deck, as we are all coaching every position, so looking forward to keeping it moving." So for right now, Michigan will be fine, but they do have to get a defensive line coach. It just puts Sharon Moore in a tough position, obviously, which sucks, but right now it seems that graduate assistant LaTroy Lewis has been the one helping a lot with the defensive line position group right now. Wink Martindale, the new defensive coordinator, has been involved obviously as well. So we'll see who Sharon Moore goes out and gets. Hopefully it's another good hire. One name to keep in mind would be Terrence Jamison from Illinois, who was previously a candidate to be the defensive line coach, and he ultimately finished number 2 behind Greg Scruggs. So we'll see what happens, but let me know in the comment section down below some other names you think Michigan should go after to bring in as their next defensive line coach. Now, one thing going for Michigan is Warde Manuel, they are giving Sharon Moore the resources to bring in the best possible assistant coaches he can go and get. That's been evident with the new contracts of the new Michigan assistant coaches. Defensive coordinator Wink Martindale is going to be making $2.3 million this year, and then $2.5 million and $2.7 million the following years. He will be the highest paid defensive coordinator in college football. New linebackers coach Brian Jean Mary is also set to make $900,000 this year, and then $925,000 and $950,000 the following 2 years after that. And then new running backs coach Tony Elford has been put on a 3-year, $850,000 contract. I should say he's going to be making $850,000 per year. So it's evident that Michigan giving Sharon Moore the resources he needs to go out and get the best possible assistant coaches, which is really nice. So, but obviously, they should be able to do that because they were set to make Jim Harbaugh one of the highest paid coaches. He was making a lot of money, and obviously he is gone now. Sharon Moore is not making at all nearly as much Jim Harbaugh was, so definitely there was some leftover cash for the coaching pool. And another thing regarding the next defensive line coach, Greg Scruggs was actually slated to make $650,000 this year and $750,000 the next. So the next defensive line coach here at Michigan will be paid pretty good, as I'm sure it'll be close to those numbers as well. So let me know your guys' thoughts on that. And I also did want to talk about Michigan's Pro Day, as this is featuring the record 18 prospects is sent to the scouting combine. Michigan has broke another record with potentially having the biggest NFL turnout for Pro Day. According to ESPN's Matt Miller, over 150 NFL personnel people are expected to be in Ann Arbor for the 2024 Michigan Football Pro Day, and Miller said that's the biggest number he's ever heard. So very cool there. The next thing I did want to talk about is Michigan hiring a new director of on-campus recruiting, Kaylee Johnson, who's actually the older sister of All-American Michigan cornerback Will Johnson. Now, Sherrone Moore in Michigan actually pulled her away from Michigan State as she just signed on with the Spartans last month to be their program's director of recruiting communications. And during the 2023 season, she served as Rutgers assistant director of recruiting operations. So Kaylee Johnson will be joining Michigan as their new director of on-campus recruiting. Sherrone Moore obviously said that he wants to expand the recruiting department. He has done so. Now, Sherrone Moore also spoke on the team during media time as he was taking questions. He did get asked about the quarterback battle, obviously, which is a huge topic for Michigan football this offseason. And I actually said that Jack Tuttle, he's working through some things right now. So the players, they call him Uncle Jack, a guy that has played a lot of football. He's got a great arm, great ability, can run. But Sherrone Moore did reveal that he is currently injured and is working through something. But talking about the rest of the players, he said they've all been competing. It's been super fun to see them all do it, and we'll see what happens. But I love where they are at right now. I love their mentality. And he also said it's great to go against our defense, the best defense in the country. Even on the other side of the ball, those guys are just practicing so hard. Speaking about Alex Orji, he said obviously a freak athlete. The ability for him to be a game changer with the ball in his hands, to run the football, is where he really has a different element than the other guys. But it's not like he can't throw. He can, and he's throwing pretty well as we've gone through the springtime. Another guy who has been in the mix, obviously, is Jaden Denigale. He said that he's a taller, more of a pocket guy, has the ability to move and run, but more of a pocket passer. About Davis Warren, he said he has a little bit of a mix of all of them. More of a pocket passer, but he has a good arm. And talking about the freshman Jaden Davis, he said he's very excited about him. He's picked things up super fast, but you never know with freshmen, so you'll see. But he has all the ability, so I'm excited for him. And talking about this upcoming season, for Michigan, Sherrone Moore said that, the program is satisfied but not satisfied after winning the national championship this past season. He said this team, they want more. They've always got that chip on their shoulder. You win the Natty, you think people would be so satisfied that we won the Natty and that's it. That's not it though. We want more. So they want it all. They want to continue to win. They know what it feels like to win, and they're going to work their tails off to continue to do that and carry on the tradition for Michigan. But Sherrone Moore also did talk about a couple of players on the defensive side. First, speaking about the defense, he said it's the best defense in the country. But he said there's a couple of guys for defensive backs. He said two guys, DJ Waller, he said, who played a little bit last year. He's been awesome. He's been super impressive, super long, super athletic. I think he's going to be a phenomenal player. And he also talked about Jair Hill, who will be a sophomore this upcoming season. Was a big recruiting pickup from Michigan in the 2023 class. He said we call him Sug. He's phenomenal. Made 2 big plays yesterday, and he has been awesome. He also said there's countless number of guys who have really stood out. Obviously talking about Colston Loveland, Mason Graham, Donovan Edwards, Kenneth Grant, Will Johnson, all those guys, all the superstars, you could say, on this Michigan football team. He also talked about TJ Guy, who he said is one who has had a really good first few days, and also Inau Etta. He said he's super excited about him and what he can do. He said, I reserve judgment to the offensive line like I always did until pads come on. They get mad at me for that, but that's okay. Which Michigan's offensive line will be checking out a new starting offensive line, almost all brand new. We do have a Northwestern offensive line coming in, transfer Josh Preby. Michigan may be having to go in the portal to grab another offensive lineman, but there are some experienced guys who have been learning under the system and waiting their turn. So that's what Sherrone Moore had to say about a couple of players and younger players who are standing out to him so far to start out spring practice. But with that, that's going to wrap up today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure you guys go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more if you are new around here. I greatly appreciate it. But other than that, we will see you guys in the next video. Go Blue.